welcome back, and next part of this bodywork video. I already started sanding this Bondo glass. I got some looks like a little bit white because I had the car outside and I had to hit it with primer, and I'm gonna sand that and remove as much as I can of primer, so the next coat of body filler will just will fit pretty good. So here the rest of the part that had a very bad and major damage, and I didn't focus on that in the video because the way I fixed it is I don't recommend doing it. So let's go ahead and sand that with an 80 grit. I'm gonna have a block of wood and I got a 80 grit. So now we're done sanding. It's make sure these seams are very smooth and you don't see them. I know it's the first coat of Bondo. We're gonna have to cover all that with a body filler, which is smoother and can give you a better finish. But sanding this layer of Bondo is very important in order to have a good finish at the end. So I'm going to wash this with water, or if you have air pressure, any source of air pressure, just try to clean it that way. But I would use water and let it dry very good in the sun, and come back and apply our Bondo. So we got some Bondo mixed here. It's a body filler, and I'm gonna apply it on top. It's always better to use a plastic putty knife, but I'm not doing that because I don't really have time to go buy one. That's actually the right way to do things, is to use a plastic, because plastic is really good. So when you apply the Bondo, you just take a strategy. You want to go from that side to here, or you go like me, like from the bottom going upward. It depends on what you have and what you're more comfortable with. So we have So now we're going to sand that Bondo with an 80 grit. I'm going to put a block around it. So here we tried to set it as much as we could. We have a little bit smooth. Try to sand it all the way till it gets all smooth, and you pass your finger. You don't feel anything between the transition between the old paint and the repaired area. And some areas are gonna need more Bondo like these. So we're gonna use we use the body filler. We have a gold body filler, which is like finer and could do better detail. So you're gonna use that to fill these small holes around it. We're gonna feel around and come back to sand. Remember, the more time you spend sanding, the more you're gonna have a better quality. So don't ever be impatient. Take your time, because sanding is the key to have a very good finish. So we got it all cleaned with water. Now we're gonna try to wipe it, and also you're gonna have to wait until it will completely be dry. So in this phase, we're going to use the Bondo Professional Gold Filler, and it's finer and it gives a smoother finish, and that's going to be giving us a good surface, and it's going to be easier to sand. So at this stage, we're done doing the gold filler, and as you can see, we're done filling the small areas that needed more Bondo, but we are gonna still have to sand it now. I'm sorry, I know it looks weird because it's white. I actually had to spray some of primer on it because the car is sitting outside and it was raining. And I was not doing the job at the same day, at the same time, continuously, so I just had the car sitting for a couple days in the rain, and I had to go all around that areas that have metal exposed with some primer. That's gonna help it. Usually when you do this kind of job, it's better to be in the garage. So after about 20 minutes of sanding this area, actually the whole side took me about an hour to sanding, and still not 100% ready. But this area we were talking about, the wheel well, is like about 20 minutes. And remember, you better use a mask. I have a gas mask, but actually you can use just a normal mask while you're just doing the sanding. But if you're ever going to paint, you'll need this kind of mask. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to clean it with water. We're going to bring a water hose and clean it very well. So once we have everything dry, and it's 100% dry, actually I made sure I dried it with a heater gun, having it a little bit far, but try not to burn it. But I have to get this job done because we're outside. And now the next step is using a glazing and spot putty. This tube is the finest thing you could use with Bondo brand. So we use the gold filler, and this is like goes like even more into details. Gonna fill all these scratches that the 80 grit and 220 grit left there, and also is gonna fill the spots that we missed. So I already have this. This needs to be applied directly. It doesn't need to be mixed or anything. So I already have two dirty ones, two plastic dirty scrapers. I'm not gonna use them. Instead, I'm gonna use it. Actually, I would better use a small one, but the only clean one I have is this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this because this is so fine and so much into details. So once we're done applying the glazing and spot putty, you can see the small lines are just scratches coming from the sandpaper, and it's filling it, and it's a really nice product to use. Remember, this is a really good thing to use in order to have a very good finish. And apply it all over the wheel. Well, I'm not very worried about the bottom because a bumper will be covering that. I'm very worried about this area. So now once it's going to be sanded, we'll see better quality. And also remember, after applying the coat of primer, we're also going to sand the primer again, and that's going to give us an even more smooth finish. So right now we're ready to make one last time of sanding. So right now we're ready to do one last time sanding with a 400 grit right here, and that's gonna give us the last clean and smooth finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand everything. So now it's time to apply the primer, and we got the Rust-Oleum sandable primer, and I know there are other brands better than this, but it should be fine. Now we have it all cleaned with water, and it's all smooth and it's ready to be primered. And please make sure in 100% that this surface is 100% dry. Don't just dry. There is still some water on top, but I've dried this area very well. So let's go ahead and spray it. So shake this for at least 1 minute. So right now we're done with the first coat. We're going to wait 20 minutes and apply the next coat. So we only have a little bit of imperfection around because that sprayer tip is not having that wide angle. But actually it's not going to be a problem because we're going to sand that primer before applying any kind of other paint. So that be it for now. The next step is going to be second coat and the third coat after having this dry, and after that I'm going to sand it with 400 grit. I'm not going to try to match the color of the rest of the car. I'm going to paint the whole car, and I'm willing to make a video of painting the whole car, and I'm going to choose to do it with Plasti Dip. We'll cover that in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and hope you guys enjoy your own projects.